may have a bunch of UB-tubies today. I'm in an area where we should get Wi-Fi. There's no reason why we should not have Wi-Fi. There's no reason to be shut down. Anyways, let me get back to work. And what I'm going to do is talk to you as quickly as possible. Let's start. I'm not going to give you Eddie's report. I'm not going to give you Walking Stick's report. Instead, you believe this? Oh dear God, please help me, God, please help me. Instead, family, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get straight to the point, and I'm going to read to you some things that came out today in articles. Now, if you recall, I told you that the articles may not have all the complete story of everything that we need. But what I want to do with you right now, family, is I want to talk to you about some articles that came out. All of these are already in our form. They're already highlighted. They're already labeled with a blue title, and they're very, very important. They're very long. They're very long. You're going to have to do some studying on your own, but at least I'm going to tell you where to go, okay? I'm going to point you in the right direction. First of all, Claire. I know that you already labeled these. I know they're in final article thread. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to give you the numbers that are in the final article. Instead, I will give you the number that's in premium. Then you can reference that number in final article thread. Here we go. First of all, number 25. These are from the right people that we want to hear about the monetary reform. These are Sudanese people. They came out that the white noise. What do you mean white noise? I know about white papers. What do you mean white noise? Well, the white noise supports the exchange rate stability in Iraq markets. What did you just say? The white noise supports the exchange rate stability in the market. Well, brother, 1310 is not stable in the market, and you know that, and I know that's what are you trying to say? Well, the prime minister's financial and economic advisor, Chalet, the guy we want to hear from. What's up? I want to confirm that the success of three physical, monetary, and trade policies. Monetary policy? What about it? They're in working order. They're together, and what we have done is it's led to the continued conversions of the exchange. Chalet said in a statement, ladies and gentlemen, this statement is telling you that the information for the markets in the closing of the gap, which is known as white noise inside of Iraq, is now in a condition that makes the markets maintain a stable rate. Family, 1310 is not a stable rate. Do you understand what they're trying to tell the citizens? A stable rate. And it prevents the parallel market from taking any negative directions. Well, that was the whole purpose, mission accomplished, Donald Trump. I know, Frank. Is that why you just did what you did with the American banks? We're gonna need them, Frank. Damn. What else you got to say, Chalet? Well, Chalet added that the parallel exchange market is now moving towards conversion with the official fixed rate. What are you talking about? There's no official fixed rate yet. Or is there? Dear God. Which is considered one of the strongest stages of stability in the monetary reform market, as well as the success of three pillars of economic policy? What are you talking about? A new exchange rate, Frank. What? Yeah, but well, yeah. 24. The next one. Look at 24. Um, Washington is pressuring and monitoring. 20 days remain before the liquidation of Iraq's banks, and the options are bitter. What? Trump, is this you? Uh huh. What'd you say to Iraq? They only got 20 days left, Frank. To do what? What am I doing with all the currencies in the world, Frank? Okay, wait a minute. Let me read. Washington is pressuring and monitoring 20 days remain before the liquidation of Iraqi bank the liquidation of Iraqi banks. Are you going to liquidate the three zeros? Before the liquidation of the Iraqi banks, and the options are bitter. Yeah, leaving the three zeros is a bitter option, isn't it? And the white noise has is the definition of security stability, which is what we need for a new exchange rate. And Donald Trump, you just did what you did with American banks, and you're telling them that the other option it's a bitter option. No, it's backwards. Never mind. It's a bitter option for Iraqi banks. Yeah, Iraqi banks. And who is this? Donald Trump. Iraqi banks have only 20 days left to implement the banking reform. I'm not. Oh, I keep forgetting it's backwards. You can read all of this in the form. I'm not making this up. They got 20 days, man, left to implement the banking reform banking reform papers. Where'd that come from, right? Really, I know, right? Banking reform papers. I'm at 12-2C. Is that what the banking reform papers? Okay, so 20 days left to implement the banking reform papers prepared by the Americans. Oh, oh, that was with the audit too. And then you brought this guy. What you bring this guy in for? The paper obligates. Oh, I want to see that paper. That monetary reform paper, huh? Okay. The paper obligates all private banks to increase their capital to 400 billion dinars and pay an annual fee of 2.5 million. La, 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 la. Okay, so what are you doing? Well, we're going to make sure that our bank's capital is at least over 400 billion dinars and this and that. For 1310? Obviously not, Frank. Obviously not. Hey, I tell you what, all of this, the relative, in all of this will be part relatives in the new structure to just 10% and paying 1.3 million annually, whatever. These controls may not be implemented by bank owners during the short remaining period, which ends on August the 31st, according to this is so good. This is just this is so good. Look at this part right here, which ends on August the 31st, according to the. I don't know why I'm holding it up to you. According to the economic expert Mustafa Hatsus believes that the banking reform papers will be the what? The what did you say? The banking reform papers? Is that what you're calling it now? So Hatut says, I believe that the banking reform papers will be subject to flexibility. Yeah, in terms of time. Yeah, so that it can be implemented with months or a year, according to the central bank. However, rules of the possibility of liquidating the banks is subject to the U.S. Reading in this, this is so good. All of this is they're saying that the central bank conducts a study on the reality. They conducted a study with Weinman on the reality of the Iraqi banking sector, along with consultations and reform plans. Reform plans. The firm completed its study and submitted the proposal last April. Yeah, I know. Which were translated into actual decisions 2 weeks ago. Yes, 2 weeks ago is right because banks will be required to sign a pledge or contract requiring one of the two options by the end of this month at the latest. And the first is to increase, the capital of over 400 billion dinars, and the second option is to merge with the other banks, setting the ownership of structure of 10%, and it goes on and on. Yes.
So it's like for me,
Oh no.
somebody just said it isn't coming through good. Just only one person said that so far, but you can see it on here.
Family, are you able just listen? Are you able to hear me at all? Is any of this working? Video is distorted, but the audio is excellent. Good. Okay, continue. So with that in mind, the real 13. Yeah, okay, I give up. I'm going to stop on. No, I'm not going to stop because look, he says this is the remaining percentage. The other partners with an annual percent. He says the whole. Listen to this. The whole. God Almighty! I can't believe all these noises. The hope is to implement one of the two previous options with certain requirement criteria and exit. Listen, and exit the U.S. sanction list. That means you say goodbye to 1310. That's what that means. Otherwise, the third option is liquidation. Is that what you want, Sudani, for your banks? No, this is amazing. And it says, I believe the reform plan proposed by Oliver Weinman and adopted by the central bank will we'll see some flexibility in the implementation. Yeah, you're talking about the float. The time frame for the capital increase, yeah, the float or the merge option may be extended. Yeah, it can be a year, half a year, or whatever. And these banks may be given a grace period until the end of the year or for at least a year. I don't believe banks will be forced to resort to the liquidation option. I don't think so either. And some of these banks are already in bankrupt. That's right. Family, this is phenomenal. Look, let's go to the next one because I'm overheating. My phone is starting to turn black. 18. Al Sudani directs a review of the provisions of the banking reform document after receiving comments from the Iraqi Private Bank Association. Are you kidding me? Oh, God. So I listen carefully what I just said, okay? Sudani directs a review of the provisions of the banking reform document. Now it's a document. First it was papers, and the banking reform document after reviewing comments from Iraqi Private Banking Association. What do you think those comments were? Holy cow! He reviews the latest related to the banking reform papers. Now here it says banking reform papers. Up there it says banking reform documents. Banking reform documents, banking reform papers, particularly the provision affecting private banks in light of the comments and the response he received from a various stockholders. Oh my goodness. All right, family, I am being surrounded by hundreds of people. It's getting ridiculous now. And they're all listening to me, and I don't appreciate it. But look at this. These provisions, they were all related to the capital increase requirement of the adoption of the strategic partners in the cost of contracting with a foreign. Oh my goodness, family. Central bank and the formation of joint committees and local and Al Sudani emphasizes that the goal of the monetary reform is not exclusion, but empowerment. Oh, for an expanded dialogue. All right, I'm going to stop, family. You have a lot to read. And I just gave, oh my, look at that. And the government continues to support all sincere efforts, both national and international, aimed at reforming the financial and the banking system to serve the public and the good for national economy. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's another one still. Okay, 16. Al Sudani announces 3 steps to reforming the banking sector in Iraq. Sudani announces these 3 steps consideration the specifics of the current situation, reassuring the Iraqi citizens for the banking community. Iraq's government spoke about this, the latest developments of the bank related to the banking reform papers, and then they said banking reform documents pertaining to private banks, taking into account the comments and the response received by the. Oh my word. Al Sudani highly valued the efforts made by the Central Bank of Iraq in preparing the banking reform documents. Oh, he just complimented the CBI for the banking reform document papers, okay, let's see, which aims to enhance financial stability and achieve transparency and raise the efficiency of the banking sector. He affirmed the government's support for all reforms initiatives aimed at strengthening the structure of Iraq's financial system in line with international best practices. He expressed his deepest interest in the objective observation and challenges facing the local banks in implementing some provisions of the reform document contained in the letter from the Iraqi Private Banking Association that was dated on August 25. And I know about that. These observations, that's what what Aki was talking to me about privately that I couldn't share with you. These observations, particularly these related to capital increase requirements adoption. Oh, family, I'm gonna stop. I keep saying that, but every time the so this was the committees that Aki and Mr. Sammy were going to. The formation of joint technical committees tasked with reviewing form requirements and reassuring the capacity with the national financial and economic reality while maintaining a balance between the reform requirements and the bank's capability. This is insanity. Al Sudani reiterated his support for and the appreciation of all the national and international efforts exerted in the vital endeavor. He's talking about the reform, the banking reform, the monetary reform, emphasizing implementing comprehensive banking reform. Emphasizing the importance of implementing comprehensive banking reforms according to a balanced vision through the steps. And here's step one, there's step two. And oh my, and the reality is to apply the international standard emphasizes the need to adhere to reform of the principle to reform its principles in formulating the standards in their banking structure to and that would enhance the confidence in the banking sector and contribute to the development of the banks work assuring the companies from all over would come in world banks communities through clear messages confirming that the goal of reform confirming that the goal of reform, the monetary reform, is not exclusive, but empowerment. It is purchasing power. It is not exclusive, but empowerment, and that the doors to discussion are open to serve the public interest and the Iraqi economy. Purchasing power, monetary reform, economic reform. Oh, Dios mío. Hold on. Because then I told this, I said, gentlemen, you got to read this. I said, I said, greetings, gentlemen. When I sent it to Eddie, I said, greetings, gentlemen. Uh, how you doing, my little buddy? Hey, look, I wanted you guys to look at these articles because they're talking about the monetary reform, how it's about to be exposed, the steps that we're taking in order to bring the security and stability to your financial reform. Look, they're calling it different names now, documents, papers, all of it is related to the monetary reform. They're not hiding anything. This is also from the people that want to listen to Sudani, the banks that we can trust. And also, this is now being supported by Donald Trump. I send you something from Trump about our banks. Donald Trump, everything that Donald Trump requested from Iraqi banks can be seen in these articles that I just sent you today. Please enjoy them and realize that your new exchange rate is about to be given to you Iraqi citizens, regardless of what's going on in Kurdistan, regardless of the remaining cockroaches from Iran, regardless of Maliki trying to be a bully. Maliki has no leadership. You have security and stability from the evil that Maliki once represented in your country. The head of the snake was not chopped off by Trump. It was bitten off. It was bitten off by Trump. Read carefully these articles that I'm sending you because it tells you that by the end of this month, something very important for your financial reform, for your banking structure, will be introduced and completed. Study this. I'll talk to you about this later. Frank, Iran is now mad as hell. Iran now mad that Iraq could be dismantling the PMF. Who cares about that? And they're saying this could lead to more armed confrontations with Iraq and Iran if they do this. What are they going to do? Are they going to bring slingshots? And what are they going to do? They got nothing to threaten you with. Continuing, Eddie, don't you love it when you see Iran influence in your country be squashed by giving them a bloody nose? Of course they're angry. They don't have the power they used to have to steal your money from the CBI. They can't steal it from the CBI. They can't steal it from the from the contracts. They can't steal it from your businessmen in the black market. They are beyond angry. They're they're going insane, just like my Democrats. My Democrats are totally lost. They have no leadership. Democrats would be better off power, and they are not invited to the party of your monetary reform. Of course, they're angry. That's why and stability that we needed to bring the new exchange rate is here. The flag has been planted. Like I keep telling you, watch what happens by the end of this month with President Trump. Watch what happens. Sending Frank. Eddie says all day long that Sudani's been on TV and he's talking about the support that he has for the banking reforms. I know, I know. I just read it. I read it in 4 articles. Sudani all day. Eddie says is renewing his support for the banking reforms. So Sudani today goes out and he's telling the Iraqi citizens, "Hey, our banking reform, our monetary reform, purchasing power, all that good stuff. I'm all for it." And then I say, Eddie, he's trying to tell you. He's trying to tell you it's coming. Put your seatbelt on. Hey, Frank, Sudani said that he is reviewing the banking reforms. He's reviewing them, and after the meeting with the Association of Private Banks, he's going to. Okay, let me just hold up. I'll just kind of show you a little bit, but I won't show it all to you because, well, that's surprising. Well, that's quicker than I was expecting. But let's see, let's see, let's see. So instead, let me tell you what I said to him. Let me tell you what here we go. So I said, really? He's going to do that? Really? And then I said, Houston, we don't have a problem. We don't have, no, Houston, we don't have any emergency. We have a launch of Iraq's monetary reform. Put your trays in the upright position, buckle your seatbelt, Buttercup, get ready, laughing out loud. And then he says, clean up in aisle five. Clean up in aisle five. I don't want to say this, so you just read it. Yeah, because Maliki's people just. Oh, this just came in. I haven't read it. Hold on. Hi, buddy. Are you hungry? I don't have anything. I'm sorry. May God bless you. You're so beautiful, the white feathers. So yeah, okay, I can read this because Sammy decides to express his opinion to me because of what Sudani just did. He says, "Hey Frank," Sammy says, uh, "Sammy says, hey Frank," and in his personal opinion, everything is set to go. Everything is set to go for us to go international. You're already way past that. You're already into the international. Everything is all set to go for us to go international, especially after hearing Sudani today speak about the banking sector. Okay. Um, and now you see what Sudani plans to do next. I don't know. We're just going to wait on that because that's what Sammy gets into. And I believe I'm done. I'm done. Normally I show you aloha. There's nothing really to show you here. We're at a mall. You want to go inside the mall? No, it'll shut down. It'll shut down the moment we go inside. It's called Kahala Mall, and it has all these beautiful little tents. Tell you what, sweetie, can we get up, or do you have to grab some stuff? Let's get up and walk over towards the front. That way they can see the entrance to this place. What, honey? It's facing you. So it's facing me, correct. So here, let me. No, you don't touch the camera. I touch it. That way. Ah, so it's going that way, family. Bye bye. I'm gonna get you there. Don't worry, sweetie. Ow! Wow, that hurt. Wow, look at that. So, anyways, family, here you go, sweetie. You want me to reverse it so you can see what it is? Alrighty. So yeah, this is Kahala Mall, Whole Foods, Hawaiians, American Saving Bank, and for my wife, Starbucks. God bless you all. Thank you kindly for being with us, okay? I'm excited, sure, because of Sunani. He's the one that's making me, all excited. Please study these articles that we gave to you. Maybe tomorrow we'll go into more depth about it. But if, from what Sammy is telling me, that Sudani is going to be doing some things tomorrow, then maybe we'll talk about that. God bless you all. Sweet aloha. Bye bye. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized that. I'm sorry, babe. Okay, button off. Turn